Hey y'all, okay, so I just finished a run, so I'm a little red-faced and sweaty, but I wanted to do a quick video on how to learn headstand. But I'm by no means an expert. I still fall all the time. I just wanted to share what I've learned and how I've progressed, and the little tips and tricks I've learned along the way, so that maybe if you're interested in doing a headstand, that you can start practicing and get a headstand into your practice. So the first place I started was tripod headstand because it was easier for me in the beginning. I don't so much like tripod now, it hurts my head. But I started on carpet downstairs, and carpet is definitely an easier place to start because it's a little gentler on your noggin. But now I've moved up to hard floor because it does help me stabilize a little bit more. So with tripod headstand, you're wanting to put the pressure equally between the 3 points, which are your two hands, and you're wanting to widen your fingers and kind of push through your palms and your tips of your fingers. And then through the crown of your head is also where you're going to have some pressure. So the best way to start is you want like kind of an L in your arm. You don't want to be too close to your head like this. You want your arms more like this. So find a good spot about shoulder width apart for your hands. Get your fingers kind of gripping the floor. Put your head about 5 or 6 inches in front. And the best way to start is to learn how to do this little egg shape. So you get your arms in the L. Elbows are about hip width apart. And walk your toes up. You want your hips over your shoulders. So this little egg shape is the best way to get comfortable being upside down and feeling how to apply pressure through your hands and your head. And once you get comfortable in this little egg shape, you can eventually push up into headstand. And breathe, contract your abs, point your toes, push through the 3 points on the ground, and find a point of reference for your gaze. So my point of reference for my gaze is usually right about here, right between your hands, about 6 inches in front of your hands. So find that point of gaze so you're not, if you focus your gaze on one spot, it helps you not rock quite as much. So that's how I progressed from the egg shape first, just getting your hips, learning to get your hips kind of straight up over your shoulders. It's a really weird place to be, but that's the basics that you need for learning headstand. After you get tripod down, and you might be able to start at the forearm headstand. That might be easier for you. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that too. If you want to start there, just kind of play with each of them and see what works best for you. But for this one, you want to put your hands kind of like this. And this is how far your elbows should be on the ground. So go ahead and you're going to place your elbows, and then you cup your fingers together, interlace your fingers, and your hands are going to cup the crown of your head. Instead of the crown of your head resting on the ground, your hands are going to cup it. And again, you're going to find a point about 6 inches behind your elbows to gaze, and fix your gaze back there so that you don't wobble as much. So I have my crown of my head cupped. My elbows are at the right distance based on the little grabbing your elbow trick. And you're going to walk your toes up until you feel like your hips are as high. You might need to bend your legs, but until your hips are up over, and you're just going to kind of practice rocking. And you're pushing through your shoulders and your elbows. And then eventually, you're up straight. But the best way to start is like I showed you, just getting those hips up and feeling what that feels like and where you need to push through your shoulders and your shoulder blades and all that. And some people, straight up and down is really hard. Some people like to counterbalance it and start like this with one leg kind of cocked. Or you can do stag legs like this. Whatever's the most comfortable for you. But that's how I started, how I progressed. And I hope those are some tips that you can take. I try not to kick up to a wall because it makes you reach your feet to the wall, and then you end up having this big arch, and that's not how you want to be. Straight up and down. So I use it sometimes so in case I start to fall over, I don't have to fall into a back bend or anything. But I don't kick up to the wall because that creates that arch or banana back, as they call it. So I hope these tips were helpful. I hope you try a headstand, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll help you as I can. And have a great day. Bye.